Hello, Second Swingers. My name is Jake. I am joined here by Tyler Fitzel today for another Live at Lunch. We are live at 1 o'clock Central every weekday, or on a Thursday. Here, we are going to be trying out the new Graphite Design FI shaft. Tyler, tell me a little bit about that shaft.
Yeah, so new for 2026. It's about this time of the year that Graphite Design usually drops one of their new shafts, and they've got a couple, but the big one for them is in the new Tour AD. For those of you not familiar with it, AD stands for accuracy and distance. It's one of the things they have on every one of their shafts. It's kind of one of the main focal points for them. This year is known as the FI for flight intelligence. So flight intelligence. Every model has some sort of two-letter combination they abbreviate with, and so we'll talk a little bit about a couple of the others I have right now, which is the 2025s. In stock and ready to go, which is called the GC, the Game Changer. It's what I've been playing all year, and I've actually been playing quite a few for the years. So excited to talk a little bit about this new one here.
Yeah, so it features the new Tornado tip, which is just kind of a little lower torque technology. It helps kind of bring in dispersion there. I'm really curious to see how that compares to, we're going to try out the VF there, and then also the shaft that you're currently gaming. This is supposed to be kind of a mid-launch, low-spin shaft. I know that the one that you're gaming now typically has a little higher spin rate, and then that VF is on kind of the lower end of things. So I'm curious to see kind of what our testing plays out with what it's supposed to be doing. I'd like to get a few kind of baseline numbers with yours there, and then we'll go into the FI and kind of get into the data, see how that compares there. So I'm going to set up a clean tag here, and we'll get going.
Yeah, one of the things that I found very interesting about the combination to it was I really liked the Game Changer, last year's version of it. They have, one of the things that they added to this is now in the newer model as well. It's a part of the technology called AD Shield. And what it is essentially doing is trying to strengthen certain areas by taking the ply and moving it in a different direction. The FI also has that AD Shield, so it's the second in the models in the lineups that's using that technology. In addition to it, they also have a new geometrical shape in terms of the dowel that they're using for the base as they're rolling certain parts of that shaft. So that's another feature that moves in. They've got new shape. We'll see in just a second as we get to it. We'll see how long my swing holds up right here. So, all right, a little bit of the GC. This is what I've got. Throw that onto driver up there. So we look at impact location. It doesn't show my 7-iron.
Yeah.
And one of the things is, if you've got a model, what Graphite Design has done, and to an exceptional degree, is if you've got a model, and we're going to stick to that model for this year, they've got models year after year after year that have fit a really nice niche in terms of their profile graphing and their chart. And we'll get to that in a second. But the GC, it's been really, really good for me. I tend not to have a ton of spin. So in order to get a little bit more launch and a little bit more spin, little toey on that one.
Okay. Nice straight drive.
Thank you. So I'll try to hit maybe 3 shots. Just get ourselves an idea. I know right now, Zinger's telling me, hit it better than that. I know I got more in the tank than that. I suppose you should actually swing. That could be 91 miles an hour. Well, that's why we try not to go too far after it.
We'll minimize that one for the data for now.
Yeah. Well, it needs to be there.
Yeah,
we're good. We'll get a couple on here. That's a little bit better. Still turning over a little more than I want.
Seems like your spin rate's kind of hovering right around that low 2,000. Is that where we're looking to average it right now?
I haven't tested this in a while.
Sure.
But I do feel as if the launch has been a little higher, and there may have been a little bit more spin with this.
Yeah.
Certainly, as I was testing the FI, and I put that right into play and did some tournaments with it as well, definitely saw the same sort of launch, but it felt a little bit more powerful, and it didn't seem like it spun as much, so it didn't climb as much.
Yeah.
So same sort of flight window, but less spin.
Did you feel like you lost any carry because of a lower spin rate?
I did, but there again, like I'm swinging a Titleist driver, so it's in 10 degrees right now. I can take that up if I felt I needed to take that up. So that's not, I wasn't worried about that if I needed to take that up a little bit. Also, there's a swing weight part to this too, not to talk too much about the GC. But the GC had a slightly different weighting category to this. So it was a little bit, it was definitely a little stiffer. So it had a nice firm section to that, but they also made it lighter. And one of the reasons is that you're talking about some of the stability. We'll get into the tornado tip. They're doing that for oversized or larger heads on the gear effect. So when we start talking about the gear effect, we want to have something that's a little bit more stable. We'll get one more here. Let's do the same thing except straight this time.
That's better.
Yeah, it's better. Okay. So let's look at the numbers on that.
Yep. What sticks out to you right away?
Well, you know, I talk about 4 things. And I've said this many, many times as we talk live at lunch. 4 things can happen to a golf ball: ball speed, launch, spin, and direction. Those are the 4 things that we look at. So let's start with the other side of it. Right? As we come across, ball speed's at 138.8. I would say that's pretty common, but I'm usually right around that 140 mark, so it doesn't surprise me. If you look at some of the individual shots just as themselves, we're looking at it in terms of probably 140 is going to get me around 250-ish if I hit a good golf ball. Get a little bit above that and I'll be okay. The other thing is launch and spin, and that's really a key factor to what's going on here. So we're looking at about 14 and 2100-ish. The last one, which was like about 2600, it wasn't, you know, absorbent. If I'm going to go to the right and it's going to be underneath 3000, I'm going to be okay. If I go to the left and it's in the 2000s, I'm still okay. So for me, one of the things I focus my time and energy on is if I'm in a fitting, I'm looking at carry distance. It's like, how far is this in the air? Now for me, I don't like that. Like, I don't like 226 in the air. I like 230, well, 40-ish is at least what I'm looking for on that. So whether that's just me hitting inside, and I know you can call me anything you want, but I usually carry the ball a little bit farther outside. I feel like I have a tendency to do that, but that's one of the things that we're trying to optimize with it. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I'm in a fitting, one of the key areas I really focus on is launch and spin, because we want to make sure that the trajectory of their golf shot is in an ideal kind of situation there. You definitely don't want to lose any carry from, especially a left miss, really knuckling and dropping out of the sky, because that can cause some issues out on the golf course there. So having something that can protect both directions from a spin rate standpoint, again, is extremely important there. I'm curious to see kind of, especially on that left miss, how the FI compares if we start to see that 15, 16, 1700 RPM knuckler. So I want to get that in your hand and kind of see where all the numbers fall here. I'm really curious as well where that height and kind of initial launch is going to fall as well.
Totally. Throw me the wrench. I didn't.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep, here we go. Good hands. Good hands.
It's pretty good for a couple golfers there.
I was not a very good goalie, so I just need to block it. I don't need to catch it, you know.
And then what weight did you have in that GC there?
So the GC is a 6. And I want to, if I recall correctly, I want to say it's like 63. I don't think it's much more than maybe 63 or 64. That was a little bit of a different weight scheme for me. So one of the things I actually did in my Titleist is I actually have 2 weights in here. And in the back slot. I know, Titleist is looking at me right now going, come on now. But what it was essentially to try to get just a touch more weight because it was a little bit lighter. And that basically brought the swing weight up to right around that D3, D4 mark.
Which weights do you have in there?
Two
reds?
No. So it's the same amount as it would have been. Like I wanted a 10. Which is, so I think I put a 6 and a 4. And I believe what I did in terms of it, this is an old TSR 3, is I believe I just still kept the 6 in the middle. for its forgiveness and then put the 4 a little bit on the inside.
Just
so
to turn it over a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a draw, which kind of we saw a little bit.
Yeah, I was
there,
curious
too.
with you kind of talking about trajectory, if you did add a little bit more weight back there to increase the launch and the spin rate a bit.
Yeah. Well, and that's also a great idea to talk about too, is like what we start talking about weight classes, right? Gosh, I forgot the total number. We'll talk about this in a second, but the new FI design does have a 40 gram X. So they did add a 40 gram X to their profile. And lightweight, really, really stiff. That's one of those where now we have the ability to get into pretty much any combination that we want. I play mine at about 45 inches, which is why I tend to have a little bit more weight. Titleists call it stock length. Right now it's 45 and a half. Pretty much everyone is.
Yeah.
So, all right. You got the tag on?
Yep, good to go.
All right. I usually have to remind Drew. Sorry, Drew.
Definitely saw the launch angle come down a bit.
Yeah, I've been swinging that direction today, so. There we go.
Where do you feel like you hit that on the face?
I felt like I hit it pretty good.
Yeah, I was just surprised seeing the spin rate at 27.
I was too. Maybe a little low. Check the
Let's look.
hit location. Yeah. All
pretty
right.
solid.
I mean, I felt like I hit it really solid, so I didn't feel like it was a bad swing.
No.
It's acceptable, as most people would say. Yeah, I'll take 250 in the middle.
Definitely seeing a little bit more ball speed out of you.
That's good. Club speed's not up, so, I relate that a little bit towards maybe the tornado tip that gives us a little bit more stability. One thing I have is, we'll see a couple more shots here. One thing I have seen with this in the hits is the off-center hits go straighter and farther.
Sure.
The idea of that tornado tip was to try to stabilize the larger head sizes that we see nowadays. So when you've got something that is a little bit bigger, we don't want it twisting too much. And I have definitely seen these go straighter. So this shaft for me has gone a little bit straighter overall.
Yeah.
That's a huge plus as we talk about trying to get ourselves in the best position for the next shot anyway.
Now, is your miss typically more heel side or toe side?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't feel like I have one versus another.
Because like for myself, I almost always miss in the toe. And I found that Velocor shafts for me really help hold my line.
Yeah.
That's what I've used for the past 4 or 5 years, and I just absolutely love them. But with the new tornado tip, I was really eager to test this today.
Yeah.
To kind of see how that compares to my Velocor. As like I said, I absolutely love that shaft.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious to try out the FI and kind of see how it works for a toe miss.
That was Healy.
Okay. Missed a couple numbers there as well.
Interesting.
All right, let's get one more there.
All right.
We're definitely seeing a higher average spin rate though.
That could have just been one. I will say, it's like, I guess, to answer your question about the miss, if I miss, the better miss is on the toe.
Yes.
It goes straighter and it goes farther.
100%.
So I don't mind that. The bad miss is like that. I think that was in the heel.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been a little Healy as
Ball
well.
speed. Let's see. Let's see where our averages are at for impact. So that was a GC.
Yeah.
That is the FI. You're right. The tag did not stick.
It's all good.
Didn't do it again.
Oh, you got to go edit. Do a little filtering. There you go.
All right. So we were a little bit more in the heel, which could explain that spin rate coming up a little bit, but
Yeah.
you gained some ball speed there, and your club head speed actually went down a little bit. It was definitely more efficient. If we look at dispersion here, much tighter.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I noticed right away is I don't know that I noticed necessarily a distance gain, but I also haven't changed it off 10 degrees.
Sure.
So if this, as an exact same length with the exact same swing weight, is performing, and that's exactly what happened, performing a little tighter on the drives, great. So that's one of those accuracy and distance things that we're talking about. How am I going to gain a little bit more in that realm?
Do you feel that the tip portion of that shaft is a little stiffer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels very stable. One of the things about Graphite Design is they have what's known as the MSI in terms of the material wrapping that they do with theirs. Every graphite company, as they're putting things together, has a way of putting them together. There tends to be a feel that ends up in Graphite Design that kind of softens even the harshest of the clubs or the shafts.
Yeah.
And so no matter the club that you're swinging, you pretty much get almost the same sort in terms of feel. This has got a little bit of a lower torque. It's got a little bit more, it's got a higher frequency. It's got a little bit more weight. So just as it should be compared to my Gamer, which was the Gamer, it should be stiffer from that, and it is. What I have found with this is I love the fact that it pretty much just goes straight no matter what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I like that, is even if it is a little bit of a curve off, I can handle that. It's easier to be 250 in the fairway than it is, 250 or 55 in the rough.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's get you into the VF there and then kind of compare all three of these shafts here together.
Yeah, let's
I'm
do
curious
that.
to see if ball flight even comes down a hair more, but dispersion gets even a little bit tighter.
Yeah. You need to
Because
grab.
you only lost 2 feet of peak height from the GC, so it's not like we lost a ton of height there. Your carry went down about a yard. The shaft did definitely launch a little lower. We went from 14.5 to 12.5.
Yeah.
But that ball speed kind of helped keep that height.
What I wonder too is even with that, was that just merely the way that the head was moving in terms of the tornado tip and the consistency that it provides?
Yeah.
Because it's very stable. And so I'm probably going to find this, we'll find a slight difference to the VF too. You have to grab me the shaft there. Thank you, sir.
There you are.
And so I have this in a 6 stiff as well. Unfortunately, I didn't grab it. But I grabbed the X.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be too far off of that.
All right.
Well, let's see if we can get something straighter and farther. That's all I'm asking for. Is that it? Nah, it's off the top.
Longer.
It is.
Down
It
the
was
spin quite a bit.
Little drop
Little
kick.
drop kicky,
yes. Little drop kick. Got what I asked for. What was the carry? Well, the carry wasn't too bad.
No. 17 launch, 1400 spin. That usually goes pretty far.
Right. One of the things that we talk about all the time as fitters is, I need patterns. Give me patterns. I don't know that when we're done with this, at least in my swings, you're going to see a whole lot different between them, which is nice. Trust me, in no way, shape, or form am I saying I'm the most consistent out there. But if I basically set up to do the same thing and I get the same thing, that's predictability. That's where the consistency comes from.
Yep.
I'm not sitting here going, all right, well, let's try this. All right, well, let's try that. That was off the toe.
Not a bad ball. Yeah, I just dropped a little bit in ball speed.
Yeah, or a lot ball speed.
How toey did that feel?
Very.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that just goes to show you that a stiffer tip section really does help narrow in dispersion.
it does, because I think with something a little bit more flexible, that would have been off the planet.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, we'll get a couple more on and stop embarrassing myself here. Yeah, another high toey.
The high face is working with the shaft. You're not losing a whole lot of carry because it's launching at 20 degrees.
Well, this is what I'm saying, is like my pattern is 95 miles an hour, it carries 230 and goes 250. So. when
Just do it in 3 different ways.
So when I have to hit it 270, I'm in trouble. Yeah. When I have to carry it 240, I can't. So we'll give one more. Buck up and give one more.
There it is.
Yeah, that's better.
Swung after that one a little harder.
A little bit.
140 ball launched real high again, but 2,300 spin.
What did we have, 4 there? Was that enough?
Yeah.
Or did we do 5 with them? 4 of them enough?
Yeah, I think 4 should be plenty of a sample size there. Let's look at dispersion charts.
Yeah.
So we saw a little bit more of a variance there with the VF, but I don't know if we put quite the same quality of swing on it. We caught a couple in the toe area of the driver.
Yeah.
High face a little bit, but I mean, your launch angle came up pretty dramatically.
Yes.
Your spin rate came down a lot. Your carry in total didn't change a whole ton.
No, and here's the awesome part to that. What is supposed to be, at least in the lineup, the low launch, low spin profile, launch the highest with the lowest spin.
Yep.
What is next known kind of as that middle ground, which would have been the FI, launched the lowest with the most spin.
Yep.
And then I have the game changer in my bag, and the game changer, again, was kind of just in between the two.
Yeah.
Is probably where I think we're going to make the most advancements in terms of fitting, is getting someone into the right profile. Because far often do we go, like a good friend of mine has typically kind of been a low launch, but I put the VF in, all of a sudden the launch is higher, it's more stable, it's going farther. I wouldn't have thought, right, as an example to that. And that's one of the reasons why you really do have to kind of go get fit.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have come in and gone, well, what's the best shaft up on there? Well, it actually wasn't too bad to have the VF in there. Like, that's one of those things where far too often we get plugged in where marketing's going to tell us, hey, you need this. And it's not always like that. But at the same time, it gives us a great starting point. Also, it talks about the opposites. So flip it for a quick second, right? How in the world is the low launch the highest launch?
Yeah.
And this happens to us as fitters with our customers all the time. All the time it's, I need to launch it higher. I give them something that does it and it actually comes off lower.
Yep.
I give them something that's supposed to launch lower, it actually launches higher. And a lot of it has to do with kind of the dynamics of the shaft motion. We talk about droop and we talk about oscillation with it. Is somehow if that club's getting presented to the ball a way that makes it create more consistency, that's what we're looking for, you know? How was the hit location on all 3?
Yeah, so they all varied a good bit. Yours there was just pretty middle, slightly toe.
Yeah.
FI was a little lower in the heel, which explains the launch and the spin.
Yeah.
And the VF is high toe, which explains why it launched super high and didn't spin at all.
So in my mind, you tell me what you think in terms of those differences.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that the softer tip section for you is helping you find the middle a little bit easier.
Bingo.
The stiffer we got, the more off center it was.
Yep. And even to the point where I think that the VF is the stiffest of, like, it's not allowing, because it is, I'd call it probably the lowest profile in terms of launch spin and then also the stiffest shaft profile to that. That right there wasn't allowing that droop or that deflection, as we call it, as the movement of that head. And that's why it's like, we talk about this all day, Tom. Which hit location would you prefer?
Absolutely the first one.
Yes, I would as well. It's a little toey, but it's a little above center. It's going to give me my best launch, most likely my best spin number, most likely my best results, most likely. But the other side of it is if you've got someone who's down and in the heel, and we need to get them the other way, we try that. Because now all of a sudden, if I'm in the heel and I move you to the middle, totally different ball game, and it might not have been the one that you thought you were going to get into. Yeah.
You know, absolutely. I mean, I tell people all the time, just because a shaft should do something does not mean that it will.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I gave someone a Ventus Black and they spun it 500 RPMs higher than the Ventus Blue we were just trying.
Yeah.
And it does kind of come down to hit location. I mean, at the end of the day, the shaft is really just a timing device. You want something that's going to load and release properly for that golfer.
Yep.
Again, like we've said it before, it's just that is the reason you come in and get fit, see someone like us.
Yeah.
Because we're going to help you kind of uncover the hidden things you might not have known about your game that's going to cause you to get into one thing versus the other.
And I think you said it awesome. It's timing. So a lot of people want to talk about like how fast I move the club. At 95 miles an hour, pretty much average. It's not how fast I'm moving it here. It's whether or not I'm pulling this hard. It's the timing, call it the timing belt, starts when I pull on it. And so I have a little bit more of a deliberate out and a deliberate back.
Sure.
I'd call that in the middle in terms of more neutral. I'm not slow where it's just kind of slow the entire way, or that transition is slower. I am certainly not aggressive with that. And so that's really where some of the different parts of the shaft can kick in, right? One of the new things about the FI is that they have reinforced the handle section with a different ply method that creates a little bit of a stiffer handle. And that right away, being a little stiffer than my Game Changer, that gave me a different type of feel in that release.
Yeah.
So immediately.
Yeah, I haven't tried the FI yet. I currently play the TR Red, so I'm used to something that's got a pretty stout handle,
Yeah.
and then a little softer mid and tip section there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how it responds. I'm not loving my TR profile anymore, at least in the red. I've been thinking about switching into the blue, something that's just got a little bit more stability for me.
Yeah.
So I'm eager to try the FI there and kind of see how it compares.
Awesome.
I've been going through some driver struggles lately, so we'll try it out and kind of see what I'm thinking here.
Driver struggles.
There's no better time to swing poorly with the driver than on a live stream.
Oh, we've played enough. I know your struggle.
Yeah, it's left. That's the struggle.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, I'm going to start with the FI, and then I'll probably hit the VF after that.
Yep. Do you want a 6S? Or, I'm sorry, 6X in there?
I have a 6X in here already.
And you want the 6X in this?
Yes,
too?
yes, please.
Bingo.
Yeah, the 60 gram is what I'm playing right now.
Awesome. All right, let's go back over here. Let's put up Jacob. And we're going to start with the FI.
Yep.
Bingo.
That's not the tee I'm looking for. Where'd that tee go?
Up, forward? It must be forward. I don't have it on me. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yep.
It's actually it's a nice height too. It's not bad.
Yeah. Let's see here.
All right.
Yeah, that's about where I'd play it.
Yeah, good
That was
start.
just a little low Healy. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll take that shot all day.
Good start.
That one felt better. Still think I'm just low facing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, when we
not
talk
quite.
about this as an example, it's a representation. I don't have the millimeters geared to that,
Sure.
you know, that Titleist head sitting in there, but it's good. It's a lot farther than I can hit it.
I mean, I like the dispersion.
Well, you already got carry more than I can hit it total.
I've got a little bit of an arm span advantage. That one felt better.
That was also really nice.
Right down the middle.
But I would also argue that my advantage is the wedges.
Yeah, well, you are the magician after all.
Keep your grooves clean, people.
What about your razors?
Our razors are always sharp.
went after that one a little harder.
So just in your first impression.
Yeah. It feels very stable in the tip section.
Yeah.
Like even the ones that I caught off center,
Yeah.
felt like they really didn't deviate offline at all.
Right.
I definitely noticed a stiff handle as well.
Yeah.
I would say it almost feels stiffer here
Yeah.
than my TR Red, but it still has a fair amount of kick in the midsection. I like to feel
Yeah.
my shaft load and release. I'll be honest, I am absolutely loving what I'm seeing from the shaft so far.
So what's really interesting is we talk a little bit about last year versus this year's.
Yeah.
Last year's Game Changer, the GC, had a stiffer handle section. This is not as, but
yeah.
hold on. It's got stiffer mid, stiffer tip. So as you start talking about that transition as you get into it is really where you probably feel the best.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, you're not feeling a whole lot on the takeaway.
Yeah.
All right, was that 4 or 5 shots there?
Yeah, let's go take a look. Oh, we'll leave mine up so you can compare. Absolutely. We have to. One of the things that I see, like, again, I'm going to look at it right away. We got 153 ball speed, really nice, good launch, good spin.
Yeah.
Carrying out around about 260, going 285. That also means you're releasing. I love that 2200 spin.
Yeah, I mean,
with
that's
13
right
launch.
where I want to be.
Yeah. We look at it in the other part of this, too, as we talk a little bit about hit location. Now, what setting do you have this in?
This is just A1.
Okay.
I just put it dead standard.
Is that what you do?
That's what I play right now.
Yeah.
The only difference is that I have a blue weight in here.
Okay.
This is a red. So it does feel swing weight wise a little light for me.
Yeah.
I've found that a heavier swing weight just allows me to time it up a little bit better.
Yeah.
So the only real difference there between this and my gamer is swing weight. And I also find that the heavier I go in swing weight, the more toe side I get.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that I'm a little on the heel here.
You know, if you think about it, I'm going to add a little bit of weight to that. So all of a sudden, that bottom end of it's going to be maybe holding on a little bit more. It's going to be get lagging, a little bit more lag to that. And then, of course, it's the lag transition. It's what's going to happen is go back the other way.
Yeah.
So it's also taking more weight, more momentum back the other way. Yeah, I love what you said about it. Is like the shaft is just a timing stick for a
Yes.
matter of purposes.
Absolutely.
Well, let's get the other one in.
All right, let's
there.
try
that. The VF.
I traditionally have not done well with these types of profiles in driver.
Yeah.
In irons, I love a very, very stiff profile. Like I've played 6.5s before, X100s, that kind of thing. I love those. In a driver shaft, I've always gravitated towards something that offers me just a little bit more feel.
Yeah.
My swing is very timing based. So if I can't feel where the club is, usually I don't know where the ball's going.
You know, I would call that pretty common. I don't think that's like, one of those things that you're just unique in. I think a lot of people would say the same thing, where if you're looking at the timing aspect, it gets, we're in Minnesota, beautiful day again today.
Gorgeous.
For fall weather, it's going to be about 80 some degrees, and the timing today is going to be different than when it turns, like next week to 50 degrees.
Yeah.
And so that's where we start talking about the timing and what's going on. I think we're going to be in a better spot with the other shaft for you, knowing what I know about you.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll try to
See what happens to hit location, see what happens to launch,
I expect a lot flatter trajectory, if I had to guess. Felt a little bit more middled. Smash factor is still a little on the low end. That was probably the best feeling shot I've hit so far.
I think
Just left the hands open.
Might have been the longest carry with it too.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it. Hit a couple more.
Yeah.
Go to a couple comments. We got one by Michael. It said, can you test against the Ventus Blue, Velocore Plus, and the Diamana BB? Yes, we will be. And what's going to happen here as we start to see new shafts roll in is we do shaft comparisons.
Yep.
And generally it's this guy right here, because he can swing after it and kind of get to that. One of the things that we want to look at is we want to see where those consistencies lie. Listen, I hit the ball pretty good, but like it's maybe not always the best comparison just for someone around 95. We want to see someone that is about my club speed. We want to get 110 if we can. Drew and Jacob and a bunch of these other guys do that. So I think that's important. And also looking at some of these other options as we start talking about like a lightweight option, because that's something that's really kind of come on in the last couple. So yeah, I absolutely think by that comment, Michael, we will have those types. We're going to try to get those together, and those are videos that we have upcoming. Whether it's live at lunch every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Time or not. Is that 4 of them there?
I think that was only 2 or 3.
All right, pop a couple more.
Yeah, I just cannot really feel where the club is as much with this. Or at least it just doesn't feel like it's loading at all.
Right. Well, and that's basically what we want. That's what it's designed to do. Yeah. And familiar with a guy named Justin Thomas. He was using this last year. I don't know if he's still using this or not.
I thought he switched into a Diamana.
Could be. He's played Diamana or Mitsubishi. He's played a bunch of stuff. I know Tiger was using this. Again, I don't know if Tiger's still using this. Haven't seen him play all summer long. So
I think both he and Charlie actually are both using it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do think Charlie's using a DI or a AD of some sort.
That there, I tried to just kind of match the profile and swung after it a little harder. All right.
All right.
Definitely wider dispersion.
Well, it is a little bit, and part of that too is there's one that was maybe really off with that. But
yeah,
we saw our ball speed up, okay, on average. That's not bad. We saw our launch basically the same. This is the part that gets a little interesting. If not for the one shot, which you had 27 RPMs of spin on, 21, 24, and 24, again, still probably in that 24, 2,500 RPM range.
Anything 22 to 25, I'm thrilled with. I'm very happy to be in that range.
And that's one of the interesting pieces as we see here. Is the FI a better profile just in terms of what it's doing for your consistency?
Yeah.
Because in the numbers, it's not doing a lot different. You've got about the same average carry. You've got about the same total. You've got nearly the same ball speed. You have the same launch, a little bit more spin, but that's more hit location.
Yeah. How did impact location vary?
Yeah. Well, we went a little bit from the inside.
From the heel.
Yep. To basically the same location.
Yeah. Okay.
That's okay because we talked a little bit about it. We had the opportunity to put this head on there, but you have a blue weight, which is what, +4?
Yes.
Because I think +2 is
black.
Black, yeah.
Yep.
So, and that's one of the things is, I think the best part about a fitting is we have the weight kits to every driver, so that when we could specifically hone in on it, we can get to that. One of the advantages that we have is the reason I play Titleist is because it works really well for me. You do as well. But also, Titleist is kind of partnered with Graphite Design as a company, and they're offering those shafts as an upcharge, but not as much as many of the other types of shafts on the market from other companies.
Yep.
Right? It's a great partnership. It's given us an opportunity to move some parts around in terms of weights and shaft settings, but then also get a little bit more fine-tuned on things like driver options for people.
Yeah.
We have a comment here by Spy Zinger. Yeah, you did play with me last night. And yeah, you do hit the high bomb. And yeah, I did recommend you should watch this. 2 club championships, you're very long, very smart. What I'd like to know is where you won your club championships. So we want to check with the country clubs. If this is just at the local simulator, then we're going to call them. But
we'll get Yip Strickler on the case.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other charts that we have. In terms of the profile, can we grab the launch angle profile shaft and talk a little bit about where kind of Graphite Design has gone in the last couple of years?
Yeah.
In that, first off,
be the one that I sent you.
First off, one of the things that Graphite Design is really well known for are kind of the bands that they have as you're moving across at the top of the shaft. And I want to talk a little bit about going kind of from top to bottom. This is always something that we see. And these right here, in terms of those bands are same. The way that they've got the script and the fact that I believe now they put it down below rather than up above, I think so. Yes, they used to put in a flip-flop position. The graphics are really good. I mean, it's very clean. As you look down, it fades into black on the bottom end, so it kind of blends in. If we're looking at the chart where this fits in terms of a launch profile, we call it launch and spin profile. At the bottom of that chart with the lowest launch and lowest spin is the VF. And that's one of the things that I found interesting too, as we talked a little bit about the types of shafts that would be appropriate for people. The VF, if you're looking to try to reduce that, is a great option for that. There's a lot of different weight classes going from something in the 50s all the way up to the 80s. So we can get a lot of variability in that. If you go straight up that chart and you get into that kind of mid-launch category, you're going to see the FI. And one of the nice pieces to this is I found that it was a lower spinning, higher launching version of the VF.
Yep.
And then if you go up that chart even farther, you're going to get into the DI, which is the deep impact, one of the originals as the greats in the game, and it's still in the portfolio because it is still one of the greats in the game.
It's not going anywhere.
No, have you had a chance to hit like the DI before?
Yeah, 100%. I've messed around with it before. I've come really close to playing that shaft, honestly, especially back when my path was like 6 into out.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling to maintain spin and height on my drives.
Yeah.
I was messing around with the DI for a while, but I ended up in the Velocore TR Red just because it felt a little bit more stable to me.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely a shaft that I have tested myself and fit plenty of golfers into.
That's also very similar to that red. If you think about it, right, you know, you're talking about getting some stability.
Yep.
That's one of the things that Fujikura is known for is the Velocore, and that's another piece. But when you start talking about launch profiles, it's not just launch. It's launch, it's spin, it's descent angle, it's also ball speed, it's hit location. You know, one of the things that I talk about in fittings all the time, I know you do too, it's not just one thing, it's not just your path. It's your attack angle, it's your path, it's your face, it's all that impact, and then where'd you hit the ball? Like all those things matter. So that's one of the things I think that's really awesome for impact location is definitely try to find that. Even if you're out on the range and you want to kind of find out where you are, then you can start playing around with the lie angle on it.
Yeah.
There are some other shafts that are still in the lineup for Graphite Design, so I don't want to completely miss the boat on some of the offerings for that. The DI is still around. There's the CQ, which is the Conquest, or the Conquer. Is it Conquer and Conquest? I'd have to go back and look. That's a very high launch, high spin type, and I do have that. And I did play that extremely successful. I started that when I was down in Texas at our new store in Dallas.
That's right, yeah.
And it was so funny because I put it in and immediately I'm like, all right, I'll play this on the back 9. I just got it and I was writing up the article for it. And I was like, all right, played the front 9, played the back 9, and immediately the drives were just longer, straighter. And I was always, but at the time I was still also playing a 9-degree driver. So for me, I needed that launch because I needed to get it up, but I wasn't spinning anything so it wouldn't climb. So still have that, love it. Next came the VF, which we tested today, then the CQ, and now we're in the FI. Flight intelligence is the real deal. I think we got a hit on our hands. I think Graphite Design is smashed it with this one. We have some options now. You're going to be able to really dial it in, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great year with it.
If you could, real quick, just kind of break down who is the VF for, who is the FI for?
Yeah. I would say that in general, if you're looking, the FI is going to be someone who would like a little bit more launch, but without necessarily the spin. Spin comes from a large number of factors, as we talked about. So I would say that the VF is something that I would look at to try to reduce, if you can, launch and spin. If we need the launch but not the spin, get into something like the FI. And then, even from there, if we need the launch even more, getting into the DI. And this fits so perfectly in that profile that immediately I got out there and I saw the same flight window as the GC, which is over there with more spin, and I saw the same flight window with less spin. So it was kind of dropping on me. Then I need to adjust. I need to go to a different loft and try some different settings. But Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're going to be live at lunch every Thursday. We've got next week, I'm not sure who's in with Drew. I know I'm out. And we're going to be taking a look at, again, something that's just dropping as we're into it. Excited. Next week might even just be Ryder Cup. Because we have Ryder Cup, it'll be was it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so we'll maybe even have our picks and such in. Do you have any picks for the team side of it? Are you picking U.S. versus
I am
Europe?
leaning U.S. I have one call. J.J. Spawn will not lose a match all weekend.
Ah, interesting. I think that's a good call. Because, you know, for someone who's getting into this, where he is, what he's done under the pressure he's seen, I think he's just going to thrive under that.
I completely agree. I think just in the pressure of that moment, he's really just going to step up for Team USA.
You know what I find interesting is my pick is an absolute nail biter. I think this may be halved, in which it goes back to Europe. But I think one of the keys to this is I'd love to see in the two-man matches Scotty and Bryson again. You know, we look back at a couple of the others where they got paired up, you know, in like Whistling Straits, and they smashed it. And I think one of the things is maybe just even kind of this, I don't want to call it a careless nature, but like Bryson's very intentional and Scotty is also intentional, but very laid back. And I want to see what happens in something like that. I think that's going to be a wild card to this. But I know one thing. It's in New York. It's Bethpage back. It's going to be crazy. It's got to be crazy. So
Yeah, that New York crowd's going to be rocking.
yeah, I think so too. All right, we wrap that up. Thanks for joining us, and we're definitely going to see you guys next week live at lunch Thursdays. Do you have anything else to add?
Just thanks for stopping by. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe.
And I always tell you, keep your grooves clean and stay razor sharp.